Hi, my name is Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
The game goes on. Florida gave him a fight for a little while.
They did. Till they knocked out Lagway.
Yes, I didn't even know that. I couldn't even tell.
Welcome into your TBC Weekly. I don't really have a question for the chat yet. Jeff, if you think of something, let me know. I'll drop it in there. But right off the top, got Jeff today. Probably not Shawn. Shawn's in Japan. But who knows? It's like 7:30 a.m. over there. The question is it yesterday or is it tomorrow? That's what I don't know.
There's your question for the chat, Joe. Bingo.
Yeah. Don't use Google. No Googling. I don't trust you guys. You're going to Google it, I know. Anyway. Yeah, so we're going to talk about this Buckeye game over Penn State. And we're going to get you ready for next week. We're not going to go super deep into freaking Purdue because why? Anyway. But there's plenty to dig into. This is a nice meat sandwich of Ohio State and Penn State. Then you got some other good games that took place yesterday. Georgia going to the wire, kind of. Like, They were tied with 4 minutes left in the game with Florida.
Yes, they were.
Jacksonville. Tennessee looked okay against Kentucky. Cocktober is over, but don't tell South Carolina that. They smoked Texas A&M, which if you thought Texas A&M was a legit top 10 team, then you're just looking at the polls and not watching the games. Indiana came back 47 unanswered against Michigan State.
Storming back.
Yeah. Ole Miss, again, doing the best they can when you're ranked in the bottom half of the top 20. So beating up on Arkansas, which I think is unfair and unnecessary. And then the Gophers banging on Illinois. So, anyway, we're going to hit the big games, but we got to start off with the Buckeye game. Make sure you pull up a stool and pour a drink. Let's talk some Buckeye football. Please hit subscribe, like our good friend Tyvis said, and share the show with a friend. We really appreciate that. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment. All comments will be covered. And if you're on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it today, please hit a follow. I am out there all the time. So, yeah, I think we should. Do you want to start with the Buckeye game and then get into some other Week 10 games, Jeff? How you feel?
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. There's a lot to talk about. Plenty to talk about this game. Big game.
Yeah, I agree. Let's dig into it. We can do our good, bad, and ugly. I've got a lot of everything here. If Shawn does join in on, I don't even know what day it is over there. Could be Friday.
How do you say good morning in Japanese?
That's a good question.
Question for the chat.
Yeah. No Googling.
No Googling.
All right.
Well,
I do want to say odds to win the championship, the CFP championship right now. Updated odds. Buckeyes are your favorite. Plus 350. Georgia. Kunter behind them. Plus 360. Oregon. Plus 475. Texas. Plus 625. So quite a fall off there from your top two to your third and fourth teams. So that's interesting to me. I think Texas getting those lower odds is because they didn't play this week. Out of
which
sight,
is kind of unfair. Maybe unfair a little bit. for Texas, but
For sure.
I mean,
yeah.
Texas, they get the benefit of everything else, so whatever.
That's true.
I would say, Joe, that the most surprising thing about those numbers there is Oregon's number to our number. I think a lot of that has to do is with our performance Saturday, obviously,
Yeah.
with our defense. Um,
Yeah.
they kind of maybe feel that the passing game that Oregon was so effective at kind of was maybe like the fluke, not the fluke, you know what I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
like the way we come back and we shut down Penn State's offense kind of proves to the nation and the writers and whoever or the odds makers that yeah, if High State's defense is playing right, they are the best team in the country.
Plus, Oregon sustained a couple injuries on offense, which could be serious. One's an O lineman,
Oh,
and the other is Tez Johnson, the receiver. So
I did
that
not
could
see
be serious.
I did not see that Tez was injured. Well, real quick
It
before we
was
get into the
early
game,
on. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't see any of that game, unfortunately. I had a party to go to for a friend's housewarming, but so I missed a lot of the late games or the later games afternoon. But what was the injuries, Joe?
Uh,
I mean, like a long term injury?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They're being very coy about it. So we'll find out probably this coming week. I don't even know who Oregon plays. We'll get into next week's game soon.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, I should recommend that everybody be aware Tuesday night is the first CFP rankings coming out. So
Yeah, there's a few things going on Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Yeah,
is
there's a
there?
few things going on. Yeah. I believe I believe we're gonna vote in a new leader of the country.
Oh, I
Um,
forgot about that.
yeah, and the NFL trade deadline. So there's gonna be plenty to talk about in the media.
Nothing important though. Yeah.
No.
So, yeah. What else? So we'll get to the Oregon game against the Cheaters. I thought they would have smoked them a little better than that, but we'll talk about that.
And the
I
late
thought it was
touchdown too.
very interesting that the Buckeyes are now your CFP champion favorite. So let's talk good, bad, and ugly from the Ohio State Penn State game, and we'll really dig into it there and talk about just all the details, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. Jeff, I'll let you go first with your good, if you'd like.
Are good. Um, our run defense, or I'd say our run defense stepped up. It was good to see that we didn't. We held them when we had to. Our goal line stand was it 3 games in a row with a goal line stand. That's good.
Yeah,
Just being able to button down right when it gets when it gets down at fourth and goal or from the one. Be able to make that stand, get the push to stop the same running play 3 times in a row. I almost thought Franklin's. I almost I was watching the game with my daughter, and I was like, what do you think they do here? They ran that play 3 times. Do they run it 4? And what? She's like, well, it hasn't worked yet. And I'm like, exactly. And then right then they snapped it, and I'm like, the pass flat covered and back in the end zone covered our ball. So obviously the good is our goal line defense to be specific, but overall defensive performance.
yeah, yeah. I got to say, a blanket kind of statement for me. The good, is the fourth quarter. We owned them. We owned them for that entire quarter. Got the goal line stand, and then we took the ball with just under 5 minutes to go, and
Yeah,
then ran out the clock.
ran it. Yeah, that they talk about that 4 minute offense a lot.
Few first downs, ball game.
Yep.
That
You want to have
was
your
key.
your 2 minute offense is when you're coming back. You hurry up. Your 4 minute offense is game control, and we executed that about as good as you can.
Yeah, obviously you have to have the goal line stand as a big part of that fourth quarter. Otherwise, I really had him penciled in tying it up. Really, when Warren made that big play and nobody could
Man,
seemingly fight through an arm block from a receiver and worn out of bounds until he got down inside the 3. I was like, well, this is going to be a tie ball game. 2020, this is going to overtime, most likely. But the defense bowed up. Oh, I got some videos here for you. Actually, I should have started off with these, actually. We might have to put her in reverse and start. Let's see. Okay. So let's go with this.
Okay.
This is Caden McDonald. He had the key third down stop. Look at how far he pushed the center back into the backfield. They're at like the 2, something like that. He's circled right there at the beginning of the video. Look at where the center ends up. He is nose up right against the center, head to head, because they went with a 5-man front. So it's man for man. Bang. Pushed him back into that. Remember, you see 71 going in motion before the ball was snapped? Watch again. Here it goes. Watch 71 go in motion. The center gets pushed back into him almost, and by Caden McDonald, K-Mac we'll call him, and here it goes again. Watch 71. He's like going across. He's like, oh, fuck, the center. Why am I touching somebody?
Yeah.
Great play. Great freaking play. I'm sure I'll have to delete that later on.
Yeah, the key to any, goal line stand or a fourth and 1 or a third, a short yardage play, penetration in the middle. You have to. No defense can execute properly if you don't have that big push at the point of attack.
Yeah, and the first step is the key. Jeff, watch. Let me see if I can pause this. Look who came off the ball first. You see that?
Yep.
He engaged the center first. Nobody else along the line has moved at all. Caden McDonald is engaging the center first. Even the Ohio State defense hasn't moved. Nobody's moved except Caden McDonald. Then they go.
The absolute key to that play, by far. But I mean, he goes what? Caden's 6'3", 326,
330.
330.
Like that, yeah.
Biscuit under 330 maybe. I mean, that's a big boy and talented. We've been talking about Caden McDonald for since last year's bowl game. He's going to be one of those guys we're going to lean on next year as probably one of those 2 D tackles inside to be anchoring our defense.
Yeah, here's a photo or a still shot of where he got his push. The center is the guy in front of 71 for Penn State. Caden McDonald is the guy pushing the center. That's a still frame.
Almost 2 yards backwards.
Yeah.
Almost 2 full yards backwards. Yeah. And of course we have the speed and the reaction, the athleticism and the talent of everywhere else on the defense. Once you get that, it makes you able to read and react and cover your assignment so much easier when you're not already reacting to them getting off the ball. So it all starts right there. He started it. Everybody else did their assignments. And got the biggest stop of the season maybe.
Yeah.
So to this point.
Yep. All right. So let's start with some celebrations. Hopefully it's not too loud for you, though. This is after the game, post game in the locker room. At the end, so in about 10 seconds, Jim Knowles comes in. He's got the black and white collar on his jacket. He'll come in from the right. There he is. The old guy. I don't know what he's doing.
Nobody knows what he's doing.
The dude in the green's like, get the hell out of here. Love it.
Yeah,
Fry back there. You got Heartline over there on the right. You got OG Walt there with the red sleeves. Loving it.
Yeah. Yeah, big.
Coach Locke up there. You can see his guns in the all black on the left.
Yeah, dude's got some pipes on.
Players love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's Coach Day first, right there.
Oh yeah, he gets fucking. He does get fucking wild, man. He lets himself go.
He's a mosh pit kind of guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I guarantee you. Yeah, he's from Megadeth. He was like he's knocking people out, guaranteed.
Check out the on the field after the game. Check out Chip slapping Ryan Day on the ass.
I saw that. Yeah.
Chip comes down from the press box.
I saw that live. Yeah.
Oh, I love a good celebration.
And also, you can tell those are like genuinely, they're genuine friends. You know what I mean? That's like
sure.
It's
you
like
can't do that to a stranger or somebody that's your boss.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's it. It's not. He's not. Ryan Day's not just his boss. He's like. Well, plus we all know that they have that's the weird dichotomy of former boss now working under the mentor. You know the mentor now being the underling or whatever. But they're genuinely friends. Back to when those two were golfing together when they found out that Oregon or UCLA was joining the Big Ten.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like before any of this they were together. They spent time together in the off season. So they're legit friends, and that's something like. You know, you accomplish something with your buddies or your family or whatever, and that's just genuine love. Yep.
This is special too. Jim Knowles greeting the defensive players as they came off the field after the game. High fives and hugs. Love it. Tyreek's gonna be fine. Sounds like he was out there moving around and stuff after the game, so no issues there with Tyreek. That's a good thing. I never even saw his injury on TV. They never showed it. So, love to see that. And we're going to continue the celebration with the O-line right here. Donovan Jackson.
See it.
He's got to be your offensive MVP, I would say. Even giving up 2 sacks, right?
I was going to say, like, he didn't, he struggled. But yeah, it's good to see these guys. That's only going to build some confidence, you know, because they knew they were looking to be outmanned, I would say, or you know, I guess if you break down position battles, they weren't predicted to win. You know, they were not the favorite. I don't think. You know, their matchup, but yeah, no, they stepped up when especially need to. That fourth quarter, that last drive. Just getting pushed, run. You know, they knew we were going to run. We knew we had to run. Everybody knew we were going to run, and we were able to run. You know, that old adage. You know, can you pass when they know you got to pass, and can you run when they know you want to run? And we showed it. We showed it to a good football team. Now, if that football team was not coached by anyone other than James Franklin, I'm not sure how that game goes. But,
he is the X factor in a bad way.
James Franklin is the X factor for them losing the big game. Yes.
How about this? Then he's wrestling with it.
Yeah, and, God, that ball. When you see the ball just pop back up in the air above his helmet, you're like, oh God, more hands. Ball is like volleyball. You expect it to just get tipped back up in the air. And, huge play though. God, I mean, but I was out of my seat, almost sunk back in my seat, and then back out of my seat again.
Right. So, looking at the big plays, Buckeyes had 5 through the air, gains of 15 or more, 8 on the ground, gains of 10 or more. Penn State, just 4 through the air, 15 or more yards, and then 3 carries of 10 or more yards. So, again, going back to that Buckeye defense, man, Cody Simon leading the way. This guy has been on freaking fire the last few weeks. 10 total tackles, 5 solo, a sack, a TFL, doing everything for this defense.
it's almost like if Cody's not making a play, Downs is coming right behind him.
Yeah,
You know,
they are strong up the middle.
yeah. Downs, the way he diagnoses plays, still, just yeah. Ransom looked good. I'm glad to see Ransom back playing, being able to play pretty much the whole game.
Yeah,
But just in coverage though against Warren, he was in tight man-to-man coverage at the line coming on Warren, but that's about 5 inches probably in height and 30 pounds, 40 pounds.
yeah, yeah.
He's giving away, but
Ransom
just
played
but
53 of 55 snaps.
yeah, I would say I didn't remember seeing him coming off. Um, but yeah, but got outplayed for a ball. When he was in position, he it wasn't like a blown assignment or nothing like that. He was just in man-to-man coverage, and Warren just went up and outplayed him for the ball.
Yeah, we saw a lot of heavy rotation on the D line this week.
Yes, I did notice that.
Edric Houston got in there. He played some interior, 6 snaps on the interior.
I saw that.
You had.
I mean,
let's see,
at one point we saw. Yeah, at one point, Joe, I saw 98, 99, and 96 on the D line. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Right.
whoa.
Down in
No
that goal
44,
line
no
stand.
33.
Yeah, in that goal line stand, one of the downs, you had Hero Canoe, and I think it was McDonald, and shit, who else was it? It wasn't Tyleek because Tyleek was out. It might have been Ty Hamilton. So it was like Hamilton, Hero, and McDonald. That's your middle three in a 5-man front. And you're like, oh fuck, what's happening here? But they got it done, man. I mean, freaking McDonald, he obviously is the star of that group. Looking at other guys on defense, how they graded out. JT had a good game. Can't complain. Couple pressures, 2 sacks he was credited with. I think he should have gotten a half on that one by Kenyatta.
But yeah, saw a lot of Kenyatta, saw a lot of Caden Curry.
Simon had a sack on a delayed blitz. Yeah.
What was Jack Sawyer's grade? How did he grade out, Joe? I'm curious.
Sawyer. Let's see. Where is he? Sawyer. Oh, here he is. Run defense 69. Pass rush 52. He was kind of stymied there in the pass rush.
Yeah, which is why I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
No tackles.
I don't remember the 2 pressures. Like it didn't. They didn't stand out at all. Which is maybe why we saw a little bit more of Curry. Curry seems like he has like more of a motor. He looks quicker as well.
Yeah, definitely. Only 4 missed tackles on the game. That's one of my pet peeves. Missed tackles, you cannot approach 10 or more for sure. And stops, we had 24 stops as a defense. A stop is a tackle that is a failure for the offense. JT led the team with 7 stops. Caleb Downs 3, Ransom 3, IGB 2, Simon 2, and a lot of dudes with 1. 24 stops. That's a high number and not normal. In the passing game, I mean, we saw it. Aller was mostly ineffective. They only threw for like 150-ish with everybody that played quarterback. IGB, of course, was most targeted with 5. But he only gave up 42 yards. Got the pick, PBU again.
Yeah. Yeah, and Denzel did not have his, just meltdown of poor, looking into the quarterback and letting the guy get behind him.
He didn't have the weapons or the guy delivering the ball.
No, exactly. I mean, like people said, like you're not going to play Dylan Gabriel and Evan Stewart every game. Yeah. But to win a national title, you might have to play those exact people.
Yeah.
It might be likely that you're facing that exact same offense. That offense will look a little different with Tez Johnson, if he's depending on his injury, if he's not available. But Oregon still does not have the depth in that position group that we do for sure, or in most teams. So we'll see how big that of an injury that might be. And like I said, they still have other weapons, um, but there's not a lot of teams in the country that can give you like what Oregon can give you in the passing game. Uh, Penn State definitely way far behind of an Oregon when it comes to that passing game.
Yeah. Again, the defense did not allow a touchdown, so I don't know if you can ask for much better than that.
No, I mean, and
O-line,
we only scored 20. I mean, Penn State held us to
yeah,
20, but
yeah,
you're not gonna average 40. You're not gonna hit 45 every 50 every game. Nobody does, or as we're seeing around the country, right?
yeah. Carson Hinsman ended up graded out as the best pass blocker of the O linemen. Run blocking, okay. So he had probably his best game as a Buckeye, even going back
I
to
would say.
last year when he played center.
And left guard, and we had not seen Carson Hinsman this year.
Yeah,
I
and
don't,
yeah. So you
almost
gotta
like a
wonder
forgotten name, almost like forgotten about.
what took so long. I don't know. So maybe he just needed. I mean, this scenario had to play out, and they needed to fix what obviously didn't work last week against Nebraska. So Tegra also a strong pass blocking game. His best as a Buckeye, 80. He graded out an 80. Hinsman an
Wow.
86. But not super strong against the run or in the run game. He graded out a 50 there. But the Buckeyes were still able to plow the ball up the middle. They ran it up the middle through the A gaps and
Yep.
to the right. So I don't know if that grade really is reflective of Tegra's performance. Fryer, 75 in pass block. These pass blocking grades are outstanding for everybody. Even the running backs were great. Run blocking grades, all were mediocre, but I don't expect to run for 200 yards against a Penn State D line. I mean, we went for a $176. That's pretty freaking good, man.
Yeah, exactly. I just go back to over like a national perspective. Not a lot of teams are going 176 against Penn State,
No,
and still being effective through the air as well. You know.
yeah, they're top five in most defensive categories, including rushing yards per game. They're like, I forget what it was. I can pull it up here real quick, but
Yeah, maybe if they were number two in the Big Ten to us, they were still top 10 nationally in a lot of those categories.
mhm.
You know, ninth in the nation, second in the Big Ten, only to us. There's a lot of those numbers were.
Yeah, they are. Let's see. Penn State defense yards per game. They only give up 279. That's eighth in the country. This is post Buckeye game.
Post, okay.
Rushing yards per game. They're up to 103.5. So that's 13th now. Definitely a dent we put in there. And passing.
Yeah, they're below.
16th. They're 175.5. So.
And those numbers, so those were all very much higher. They were a lot higher prior to us. So,
Last week.
we are by far the best offense they've seen.
Yeah.
And I think they might be. I don't know if they're the best defense we've seen. Iowa's defense is pretty good. I don't know. I mean, I'd say Penn State's got. I mean, they have the best defensive player we've seen. I think Abdul Carter probably is the best defensive player that we've played against. Maybe if Oregon's DN
Harmon's pretty fucking good for Oregon.
Yeah, the guy that didn't play also
Birch,
against us.
yeah.
Birch. Yeah, that's it. So, but yeah, just you can nitpick and you can say, our struggles, our deep ball passing, is not. It's not automatic, which is every deep ball we connect, but nobody connects every pass,
Yeah,
every deep ball.
that's impossible to be perfect there.
Um,
At least we're attempting them because that does stretch the defense, does keep them
have to.
honest. And when
Yeah.
even if you complete one or two a game, that's enough,
Yeah,
especially to keep
you
the
have to,
defensive coordinator,
and with the guys we have, I think any of our three starting receivers can be considered a deep ball threat. just because of the ball skills and stuff that they've made, on a one-on-one matchup.
Yeah.
I think all three of them are good enough to beat a lot of, most guys in a matchup.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else we need to cover? Oh, well, let's talk about our scores here. So I had Buckeyes 24-20. Jeff had 28-24. Shawn had 27-20. Guess I'll go ahead and take the dub again. Does that sound fair?
Right on.
All right. Guys, stay with the shtick. So anyway, Buckeyes roll. I'm going to get to the chat. We'll try and get there shortly. Let's see. Let's quickly get our Purdue, just the formality of talking about Purdue for a second. We're not going to go matchups because it's not fair. It's not fucking fair.
Yeah.
Big noon on Fox Saturday. Boilers.
Which isn't fair. That also isn't fair. Why? No. Why? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Wait, Fox. Hey, Fox. If you're trying, Fox is trying. I'm talking TV real quick. Hey, Fox, what are you doing? If you're trying to match with game day, now we had game day and big noon at State awesome. College, which is cool. That's the second time ESPN, our former home, has come to promote us.
Yep. They know where their bread is buttered, even if they're
exactly
homers.
They know there's no other Big Ten school that's getting game day to come to them twice.
Those political ads. Those will pay for your lunches at least.
That's all. It's weird how that works.
Yeah.
No.
But so Boilers are 1-7, 0-5 in the Big Ten. Buckeyes 7-1, 4-1, of course, in the Big Ten. Head coach Ryan Walters in his second year. Like I mentioned, they're 1-7 so far. Last year they were 4-8, so looks like they're on a downward trajectory here. And just looking at the matchups by the numbers, you got the Purdue offense, points per game, they're averaging 16. 16, that's 125th in the country. Yards per game, they're 124th there. And the Buckeye defense, again, I got to reiterate how good this defense is. We're top 5 in everything. Number 3 in opponent points per game. Number 3 in yards per game. Yards per play, number 3. Rushing defense, number 8, allowing 95.5 per game. Passing defense, 9th, allowing 161.5. But Purdue does not put up numbers. They're 86th in rushing yards per game. They're 119th in passing yards per game. So I don't know. I can't call it. These guys are screwed. These guys are totally fucking screwed.
Yeah. There's no map. There's no map of victory for this. I mean.
No, and if you flip it over and look at the Buckeye offense versus their defense, it's worse. Their defense, we're top 10 in yards, points, yards per play. They're 130th in all those categories.
Yeah, and if people didn't know, there are 130. I want to say 133.
Yeah, so
Division I schools. I think one. Yeah.
So if they're going for the last. They're getting close.
Yeah, if you're in the 130s, the bottom of the barrel, and you're dealing with Connecticut, I don't even know who actually would be. Some other schools that are just predominantly some of the worst in the nation.
No Big Ten. I don't even know.
We don't even know how bad you are.
They haven't played. I mean, they played Oregon, Notre Dame, but Nebraska, Wisconsin, Illinois, with Northwestern, and they're getting beat by these teams. Like Northwestern beat them 26-20. That's pretty fucking bad.
Northwestern scoring 20. Yeah, Northwestern scoring 26 points.
They're 2-4 in the Big Ten. Wisconsin's not having a great year. Oregon State smoked them. So Indiana State, they did beat. Good job. I hope that wasn't for a trophy or something, but Jesus.
Indiana State.
Right. So, anyways, let's go ahead and do our score predictions quickly before I give you the spread, the Buckeyes lead this series 41-15-2. They've won 4 of the last 5, 3-2 against the spread. In last year's game at Purdue, the Buckeyes jumped out to a 34-0 lead, and they held Purdue to 3 of 17 on third downs, finishing up a final score 41-7. So this year, more of the same. Spread is 37.5, over under a 54. Whoa. So very similar. So if we beat them by 34 last time, and judging by what they've done so far this year, I think that spread's about right on cue.
Okay.
So what do you think, Jeff?
49-6.
Field goals?
I don't know how Purdue manifests 36 or 6. I'm not sure yet. I think I would say Purdue gets a touchdown and they try to go for 2 on some fucking weird ass play, and we make them look really stupid on the way to scoring 7 touchdowns.
Where's our kickers any good?
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go out on a limb, Joe, and say no.
All right.
Just because the rest of the team sucks too.
What's your field goal percentage here? 61st in the country.
Like I said, they're gonna get a touchdown late, and they're gonna say, "We got this really cool 2-point play. Let's burn it now against OSU." Oh fuck, that didn't work either. Right. O'Brien Waters. Hey, the AD catches him off the field. Hey, good play, coach. You're fired.
Right.
Okay, and he's like, I'll go clean my desk out.
Thought they would give him a few years. I mean, what are the expectations here if you go 4-8 in your first year?
I mean, no, he probably. I thought I liked him as a coach. I mean, I was like, well, maybe Purdue's finally got a guy. Maybe they can do something. You know, they can. It seemed like just hearing some interviews with him, Big Ten media days. You know, just listening to talk. I don't know. I thought maybe, but it's Purdue, so like. Right. You bring in an Oregon, you bring in a Washington, a USC, UCLA, and it's like, oh no, he does not. Or so now he was at the bottom of the 14-team conference. Now now all 4 came in above him. So now Purdue Northwestern just got pushed further down. Like they are jackhammering the basement right now, trying to go deeper.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna go 41-0. So, you know, I've already blown my load on the 4 shutouts this year. So I'm gonna try for another one. You know, keep the dream alive. So 41-0. I think the Buckeyes rest some guys, recover from this game, and you see a lot of the 2s and 3s. Which could also, you know, 2s and 3s, Joe, could also lead to maybe not a backdoor cover to get it within 35 late or something like that, you know, but unexpected.
They're gonna play their starters probably till the end, I'm guessing, to try to have some kind of respectable showing. So if you get into you playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores in that third, fourth quarter, you know, the starters have already had their uniforms off and showered maybe. Yeah. You never know. You never know how the young guys. We try to give them some playing time, but a blown assignment here, you know, they get one big play late. They could also pad some stats that wouldn't make it look so audacious. But
so, what do you think? Thinking about the microscopes here, you leaning towards maybe some backups, getting some serious action, maybe. The first. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Microscopes. You want to say immediately comes to mind. James Peoples he's gonna carry the ball 20 times. Yeah.
But I'm gonna go Julian Sand.
Oh. Okay.
Julian Sand. I want to see him come in and play clean. We're gonna see Julian Sand. I think we're gonna see Julian Sand there.
Does he jump Devin in the order?
I think no. I think that now as far as we don't know of any health issues or anything like that. So basing on everybody being healthy, all of our quarterbacks are healthy. Yeah, sure. I think Devin Brown is the second quarterback we see Saturday. But I think Julian Saying has more pass attempts and plays actually more plays. Does that make sense? You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yep. Okay.
Like I could picture that a whole fourth quarter being Julian Saying. Now it might only be 2 possessions in that fourth quarter, but I would really like to see if we are going to go with that type of look where you got Peoples and our backup, the other running back,
Sam Williams-Dixon.
Sam Williams-Dixon. I get him in our corner, Clark Simpson Hunt. I get those.
Yeah,
I get the
Simpson
the 3 names. I think I'd like to see. I hope that Ryan Day lets him run. If we're in our third team offense, let them run the offense.
Yeah.
I mean, piss on you, Purdue, for being so shitty that we have to feel bad about running a regular offense. But we have our third teamers in, a lot of freshmen. Let them run the offense. Not that lead dive,
Right.
off tackle. Yeah. No, or the 3-yard hitch. No, fuck that. Run the offense. If you're playing freshmen in the fourth quarter, let them at it. Let them do it. I want to see that. I think Julian. I want to see Julian Saying. I want to see. No. Let me see. Let me go into the bucket here and draw a name. Give me give me an Edric Houston. Give me an Edric Houston coming off. Give him a quarter and a half
Nice.
of playing DN.
Yeah.
See what kind of havoc he can reach. I think our stock should be high on him. I would expect him to maybe push for starting job next year.
I agree.
Or be in that rotation to where Curry and Jackson are now.
Yeah, on offense, I'm going to go James Peoples. I think he might get the most carries of any running back on the team next week.
I say at least 20. I think I'm predicting at least 20. Yeah.
I think you got to get him in there like by middle of the third quarter at the latest. And then defense, Arvell Reese. I think he's going to get a ton of action next week. They're going to pull Cody out of the middle linebacker spot, get him some rest. He had a hell of a last few weeks. And so Arvell, he's wearing the green dot, whatever, the headset in his helmet, so he can play the mic and everything will be just fine. It's not like this is a real threat. So I think Arvell, let's see him flash. Maybe he gets a little forced fumble, maybe a scoop and score, something crazy. Who knows? But he throws his body around and wreaks havoc everywhere. So, all right. So let's go back in. I'm going to pop up the comments on the screen while we're talking about games. But Jeff, is there any games you want to touch on here from this past week?
Well, one game I did. Oregon, Michigan, real quick on Oregon, Michigan. I definitely get.
I do have a video to accompany this that is
okay.
Critical and the story of Michigan's season, all in one.
Okay.
2-second.
Can't wait. I didn't want to. Go ahead. Yeah, let's see this. Oh, mine's not loading. It's not loading for me.
So this was a wide receiver pass. And Orji was supposed to go out in a route, but he didn't realize he was like 5 yards off the field. He runs into the camera base, like the stand on the sidelines. Story of their season. Orji gets fucked.
I hope he broke a finger or something stupid, something innocuous, like an injury because he's an idiot.
About his head, man. Look at his head hit the ground. Bang, bang. Oh.
I gotta go back and find it. The video's frozen for me, so I can't see it. But I will go back and find it. I will go back and find it.
They're like at the 5 of Oregon, and they run the stupid wide receiver pass, and he rolls out and throws it, and Orji's supposed to go out as like the decoy, and he's supposed to catch the ball, and nobody's supposed to be over there. But no, he runs like off the field entirely into the the big the trailer with the camera base on it, and he he runs into that like a fucking. That's hilarious.
You know what? And I'm not. It's not a bad choice to not have him throw the ball necessarily.
Yeah,
he probably is better. He probably is better with the catching the ball and running with it. So, not a bad idea, I guess. But now they just realize, oh yeah, fucking throw it or catch it. Oh, okay. Let's just put him in tailback.
He was their second leading rusher. 6 carries, 39. I don't know what's going on with Mullings.
Did he play? I did not see. I did not.
8 for
like I said, I don't.
For Mullings.
I see. I'm surprised. Coming out of that Michigan State game and how that ended with the fighting.
Yeah.
He was stomping on a staffer.
Yeah.
That was not even a player. That was a guy in a green jacket.
I know. Right, and nobody's going to do anything about it.
Sharon's quotes. It was all going to be handled internally. So thanks for showing us how you handle shit internally, you fucking clown. I guarantee you, most respected big time programs in this country, if your starting tailback is stomping on a staffer in a melee, you are not gonna. And it's now there's video evidence. It wasn't the net mound he was stepping on.
No.
Now you can't actually see. There's a sea of bodies and stuff, but he is clearly high knee chopping down with his cleats on something.
Right.
And I'm guessing it's not a varmint that got loose on the field. So for Michigan to come out and say, it's sad that happened, but all of this, all penalties and whatever is going to be handled internally. I'm surprised the Big Ten hasn't. Is there still an investigation? Because the Big Ten has the right to review game tapes and make their own punishments.
Right.
Because obviously you see Michigan's not going to. They're not going to. I don't think I've not heard or seen any evidence of any punishment being handled down. Michigan State or Michigan.
I think it's just getting swept under the rug. I don't think anything's happening there. But any other games you want to talk about?
I was
last week. Florida,
I saw
Georgia.
a score. Tennessee, Kentucky. I think I saw the score when it was tied, but I did not remember where they were in the game, and I was just curious how that game ended up because I didn't catch any scores last night.
Second half was all Tennessee.
Well, okay.
They scored a touchdown in the fourth, but it was too late.
Okay, so it was tight early, and then it got away. The Florida Georgia game, that was the only one I did see some of. Florida was in that game till late.
Well,
but then Florida.
They were in the game until Lagway got knocked out in the first half.
Oh, well,
Lagway,
score wise, they were within a score or two the whole game, which Florida should not be in. It should not be in the game with Georgia.
Yeah, down to I think it was 4 minutes left in the game. It was tied. So yes, they somehow Florida kept it close. The running game was actually pretty solid for Florida. I was impressed there, but they brought in that backup quarterback. He was terrible. Just running through some comments. Any other games from this week? We got about less than 15 to go.
No,
Indiana smoked Michigan State.
Which we thought would happen. I mean, Indiana's for real. Indiana's going to be. They're going.
Clemson.
Yes.
We got a.
Clemson does Clemson.
It's still a verb. That's never going to go away.
Yeah. And Bama was off this week, but Clemson. Yeah, Clemson. So Clemson. That ACC. With Miami undefeated. SMU. Did SMU pull out their victory? Let me check scores here.
SMU?
Yeah, ponies. They were one loss in the ACC.
Oh yeah, they beat Pitt.
They beat Pitt, so now Pitt's no longer undefeated.
Right.
Because there's like a 4-team race in the ACC there, and just the only reason that matters is talk of the SEC getting a possible second team in, plus the champion. Which would then you're looking at trying to get 4 out of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So then does say a conference champion Miami and a Clemson or and a Pitt get in, which may push out in Indiana, something like that. That's the only reason I was wondering about how the ACC shaped out. So you have Miami as the clear front runner in that conference. I don't think anybody beats them. Their schedule, they don't play SMU,
Right.
and with Pitt losing, given that one loss, Miami clearly is the only undefeated in the conference, I believe, at this point. So I mean, Miami's probably going to be that 3 seed or 4 seed. Big 12, Iowa State out of here. So bye bye Cyclones. Nice showing, but we don't need you fucking up the playoff.
Exactly.
And when I thought it was a clear cut favorite that Utah was going to win that Big 12. What happened to Utah?
I had Boise the whole time.
What, Boise doesn't. No.
What?
No, Boise's not in the Big 12. I mean, Boise's your group of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought Utah was the clear pick. And now, granted, I'm not a Big 12 follower, or I don't know, the teams inside and out in that conference. But Utah on paper clearly looked like the best team. They're not even mentioned. They're not even in the picture at all.
Mm.
So, yeah.
All right.
We'll see how those 4 seeds come out on Tuesday. Because you're gonna have a Big 12 team as the 4 seed. I would say Miami is gonna be the 3, and Oregon the 1. Georgia's probably still the 2.
Something like that. Let's look at next week's games here before we get going.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to give me your top 4 or your top 4 in the Big 10 in order?
I'm sorry. So I'm still gonna go Oregon because they beat us. I think we are a better team, and I think we'll beat them in a rematch.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go Oregon 1, Ohio State 2. I'll go Indiana 3, Penn State 4, because Indiana's offense.
Okay. Got it. I'm writing these down. I'm gonna go Buckeyes
14.
number 1 because I feel like we are hitting our stride, and I don't know how Oregon can deal with injuries. They haven't had to deal with much yet on the injury front, and especially to another offensive lineman. They had one before the season started. They had to shuffle things around, and
they struggled. Yeah, and they struggled with that offensive line.
If you're going to tell me that Tez Johnson's out of the lineup, I would be very concerned about that offense, depending on their opponent, of course. But we'll get into some games here in the last few minutes of the show. But
okay.
I'm going to go Buckeyes, Ducks number 2, Indiana number 3, Penn State number 4. Obviously, with the loss to the Buckeyes,
right.
There's just nobody else you could really legitimately put in there at number 4.
No. There isn't. It's clearly those 4 teams. Like I said, we've had those same 4 teams, all of us, for the last 3 weeks. It's just the order had changed a little bit because Indiana has continued to show that their offense is explosive, and Penn State is dog shit.
I mean, there's really nobody to put in there. I'm going to keep popping comments up here on the screen. I'm going to continue these. So this week, Jeff, starting from the top here, you got Florida at Texas. That seems to be I'm guessing a bloodbath. Texas is favored by 21.5. This game, though, Georgia at Ole Miss. Georgia favored by 2.5. So
that's a pick 'em.
Yeah,
Georgia on the road
with a 3-point home favorite. That's straight up. So
wow,
Ole Miss 3-2 in the SEC. That's an interesting ball game right there.
I think that spread's misleading. But Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss is a fraud. I don't have any faith in Ole Miss. Jackson Dart can score points. He can sling the ball around.
Yeah.
But they can't put together a full game of rushing attack, big plays through the air, timely defense.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. And now Georgia's not blowing the doors off anybody. I don't expect to see them in a fucking 20-point spread against anyone, just because Georgia's just not explosive. But I don't see Ole Miss. I don't see Ole Miss making this a ball game. Not for 4 quarters. I mean, I don't see it. I don't have any faith in Ole Miss.
I agree. It's just which Georgia's going to show up. I mean, Carson Beck threw like 3 picks last week in the first half.
Oh, and dude, he leads. I think he's top of the SEC in picks. So I think still, especially if you said he threw 3 last week.
Some picks, man.
He's going to give the ball to everybody.
Yeah.
So Georgia, Georgia's not going to run away from anybody. I don't think. I still think they're one of the better teams in the country, but Georgia's not the Georgia that we would all think that they are, but I definitely don't think Ole Miss is close to their level.
Yeah.
Now, I could be wrong.
The better offense across the board is Ole Miss. Jackson Dart, 3,200 yards passing.
The better offense, yes. I guess I'm just going off of the notion Georgia is going to play proper defense. I don't think Ole Miss can. But at the same time, if Beck wants to just fucking throw the ball to all colors of uniforms,
right,
it might be a game. You're right. I mean, it could be. I expect Georgia to win by 10. It would be where I'm at.
Yeah.
34-24, something like that.
Yeah, that's
but it might be one of the better games. Yeah, it could be one of the better games of the weekend. Buckeyes. It's got to be the night game.
3:30. No, 3:30. Damn it.
3:30. What is the primetime game? I'm wondering. Bama. What's Bama doing?
You got Mississippi State at Tennessee on ESPN.
No.
And you got Florida State at Notre Dame. Then Bama LSU.
Geez.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. There it is. There it is.
Bama favored by 2.5. I don't like that whatsoever. I don't like that spread.
Where are they playing?
You're gonna go into Death Valley at
into
night?
Death Valley Saturday at night. Death Valley and well, I mean, but you saw LSU against A&M.
Yeah.
And so I mean, they're going up. You're trying to figure out LSU. Like this is not the LSU of my 30s. Maybe a decade ago, or whatever.
Right.
This is not that LSU team, but yeah, it is still Death Valley. It is still Saturday night, and it's Bama coming in. The game looks good color wise. It's one of those SEC games. It's going to be fun to watch, just because it's the pageantry and the.
It's not.
You're going to see athletes. You're going to. No. You're not going to see 20 NFL defensive players on that field.
No.
But it is going to be a fun game to watch, just because you're going to see athletes. You're going to see the colors, the hitting, the physicality. You'll see all that. Bama 2.5 on the road. The people with those home dogs, right? That's a guys I know around here that he likes to play the games a little bit. He was asking me up to the Oregon game. He's like, so what do you think about your Buckeyes? I said, it's gonna be. I think we win by a touchdown or whatever. He said, he's like, man, I can't go against them home dogs. When it's. I said, I get it. I said, I understand. I understand the logic there. So, the home underdogs, the Bama Georgia game. Same type of thing. People were up in the air about that. That's a good primetime game though. That's a good way to end your Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a full slate, really, if you look at it. You got
the SEC carrying
going to Penn State there at 8 o'clock, but scrolling back here to your 3:30s, you got Clemson. Really doesn't matter anymore. They're ranked 19th now, so that doesn't matter that they're going to Vatech. You got the Michigan at Indiana. How badly does Michigan get beaten? Is that a ball
What's
game?
that?
Right now,
What's
the
that
spread's
spread,
14. Indiana.
14?
14. Yeah.
I bet Indiana covers. I bet Indiana covers. Ann Arbor?
Watching your Buckeyes, you could watch Georgia, Ole Miss, and the Cheaters against Indiana in like a little two-screen kind of action.
That might be the play. That might be the play for the 3:30 window.
Yeah.
Playing at Ann Arbor, Joe?
Indiana. Bloomington.
At Indiana. But Bloomington, I think Hoosiers roll. Hoosiers roll by 17. 34, maybe 34-17.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they cover that pretty easily. So, yeah.
Does Michigan go to Jaden Davis? At some point, do you go to the freshman?
I think his family doesn't want him to play. I think he would have played by now.
What the fuck? I mean, now so let's not interview the coaches anymore. Let's interview the dads of the fucking backup quarterbacks. Let's just put them on SportsCenter or put them on the fucking talk shows during the week. Because I mean, if they're the ones dictating what's happening, well, then let's hear from them. You know what I mean? Don't let some fucking coaches fucking buttfuck pussyfoot around in an interview and I don't know. No, get the parents on. Would you want your son? Have you talked to coach this week? Is your son going to play?
Right.
And because the parents will keep it real, probably.
Well,
let's put them
understand.
on.
I would not want to put my kid in front of that garbage O-line either. So
I get it, but you signed off. You signed off on your authority when you fucking let the kid go to the school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I
understand that a parent not wanting them, but they don't have the fucking set. They shouldn't be allowed, or they shouldn't have. Coaches shouldn't have to worry about factoring in. Well, the parents might get mad and they might pull their kid out of the school. That's you know what I mean. That's the overall. Well, it's even more so now because there's this free agency unregulated. So this is a overall speaks to the greater problem of the system.
Yeah.
But I understand if that's the thought. But I mean, do you think, Joe, looking over the program, if you were in charge, what's best for the program? Do you think it's just play the freshmen and just get them?
It's a balancing act because you got to keep future recruiting in mind too. You piss off some.
Oh yeah.
That's
exactly
spread like wildfire to future recruits. So
yes,
but yeah,
keeping all that factors out, I think it's the best move for them though.
I'm glad it's their problem, not ours. So, all right. Appreciate everybody jumping in. Thank you for all your questions and comments. And I'll be back Friday. We'll talk some more. We'll talk about football. We won't talk a lot about Purdue. I don't want to either. So we'll get you ready for that game a little bit more, maybe some more details. We'll see how healthy everybody is and talk about some of the other games too. So, Jeff, appreciate you.
No doubt, brother. Anytime.
All right. Talk to you
all
later.
the time. See you, man.
Go Bucks.